From the East Side Center here in East Peoria, Illinois, welcome back. It's the Clutch Sports Media Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. After 2 straight weeks of rainouts, we're back here on CSM, and it should be a great contest. The two teams from the Sunday Morning League Championship last year, it's the Crusens Reds and the Miller Lite Falcons. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jonathan Michael, and inside the booth here alongside Charlie Schermerhorn and Sunday Morning League Vice President Zach Schulte. Guys, thanks for hopping in. And how you guys' day's been so far?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me here. Pretty excited to watch two of the better teams so far this year face off.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a great game. See some high-level play and some high-level players.
Certainly, and the Crusens Reds come into the game on an absolute tear this season. Last year, Miller Lite was a team that won the championship, but right now it's the Reds that are in the driver's seat. They sit at first place in the standings. Miller Lite looking to catch a hot streak and catch up with the Reds, but they're a team that's always dangerous as well. Some good players on both sides of the ball, and it'll start. I want to talk about Miller Lite starting pitcher Clay McConkey, obviously a Sunday Morning League legend.
Yeah, he's he's on the Mount Rushmore of Sunday Morning League pitchers, and maybe the best to ever do it. 1,000 strikeouts. I think over 100 wins. He's been playing. I think he's upwards of 18 years playing, or close to. And he always gives Miller Lite a really good chance to win every game he pitches. So.
For sure, and he'll be on the mound. You see him warming up, tossing to his catcher,
Colin Moorman.
Colin Moorman, yep, indeed. Just had to get the name there for a second, but we'll take a look at the Crusens batting lineup that'll be coming through. Charlie, you have the Crusens batting lineup. Why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, so leading off, number 13, Jordan Ball, playing center field. He went to Monmouth. Batting in the 2-hole, we got number 0, Noah Funk, also playing shortstop tonight. And in 3-hole, we got number 3, Jock Kurtel. I don't know if I said that right. in the cleanup spot, we got Frank Kelch, the first baseman, number 17.
Ooh, that's Jack Keithy.
Oh.
Jack Keithy.
Whoa. Okay, so it looks like we got a little bit of split up there. But in the 6th hole, we got Travis Gronk, number 41. Batting 7th, we got 11, Joey Jockish. And in the 8-hole, we got number 27, Coda Spencer. And in the 9-hole, we got number 8, Peyton Henners.
As the starting lineup for Crusens, Miller Lite's defensive alignment will take you around the diamond, starting with their battery. It's McConkey throwing to Moorman. And at first, over to third, it is Chase Ulrich, Noah Campbell, Bo Durbin, and Tyler Bishop. Bishop, a late addition into the Falcons lineup. And from left to right in the outfield, it's Peyton Bradford, Mitch Ball, and Cam Scott. All three very good players for the Falcons. Cam Scott, the reigning league MVP this year. And we are underway here at the East Side Center. First pitch to Ball is low and away for ball 1.
Jordan Ball was first-round draft pick for Crusens this year in the 2023 Sunday Morning League tryout/draft. He played 4 years of college at Monmouth, and he's off to a really good start this year at the plate.
And McConkey fires it in. This one hit into short left. On the run is Bradford, and he makes the catch. So McConkey and the Falcons have retired their first batter. Anytime you can get the leadoff guy, usually one of the other team's best hitters, kind of makes you feel good.
It was a nice catch considering the sun's right in his eyes out there.
An interesting note, while we're at it, we were playing on the east side turf field, just across the way from Dave Rogers Field where we normally are. Some rain in the AM and early afternoon led the game to be played here. The turf, brand new here at the East Side Center, has a little bit better drainage as McConkey fires strike 1 to Noah Funk.
Noah Funk, Lincoln kid, a rail splitter. I think that's their mascot out there. Indeed.
Yep. One of a couple mascots actually in the state of Illinois that almost has the same logo. It's like a sort of kind of a short, chubby guy. He's holding like a hammer.
Okay.
Kind of looks almost like the Canton Little Giants logo as well, but except Lincoln is in red and green.
Looks like Chase Ulrich and Tyler Bishop from the lap switch from first and third. Those guys are two pretty interchangeable guys. They both play first and third base at Tyler plays at ICC and Chase plays at Eureka. They both play both positions well.
McConkey fires in strike number 2 to Funk. That one is fought off.
Looks like he took a little bit off on that pitch.
And talking about a little about Clay McConkey, he's the all-time leader in Sunday Morning League history in the 100-plus years, 108 to be exact, and strikeouts at 1,000. Well, he's well over 1,000. I don't have the accurate number in front of me right now, but he's over 1,000. That's alone is pretty impressive.
It's too high to count.
Looking to add one here to Funk. That one foul tipped right back into the middle of Moorman. And McConkey add another one to that already humongous tally. Miller Lite is 2 down here in the top of the first. And I'll bring up Jack Keithy? Keithy. That's how you pronounce it. A third baseman for the Crusens Reds.
Another Monmouth guy. Currently plays at Monmouth. I believe he's going into his senior year there. Having another good year at the plate for Crusens.
Keithy was a all-star honorable mention last year. Fouls off the first pitch, out of play to the right. Now the 0-1.
Keith's from Pekin High School. Really good athlete. Runs fast and plays a really strong-handed third base.
Keithy's done a little bit of everything this year. He's posted a good batting average. Takes a ball very high there. He's had some power. Got a home run this year and also has a good amount of walks to his name this year as well. A 1-2. This could be the last pitch of the inning. That one is high for ball 2. Turning into a nice early evening here at the East Side Center. Wind blowing slightly from right to left as McConkey strikes out Keithy. And he's got 2 of them to end the inning. Miller Lite puts up a goose egg in the top of the first. And they'll have a chance to bat. And we head to the bottom of the frame right here on Clutch Sports and Media. But before we do that, I want to thank all of our sponsors that make today's broadcast possible, starting with Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League, for great hydration and refreshing drink has lots of flavor as well. Body Armor sports drink is your way to go. And also by Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing, longtime sponsors of the Falcons at the Sunday Morning League. I thank them for their support. And also by Crusens, 3 different locations around the Peoria area on Farmington Road, War Memorial, and Route 29 down in Creve Coeur. I thank Crusens for their sponsorship of the Reds of the Sunday Morning League. Ready to get things going here in the bottom of the first inning, and Miller Lite gets a chance to bat. Charlie, why don't you take us through the Miller Lite Falcons starting lineup?
Yeah, leading off, number 25 of Morton, Bo Durbin. Number 5, Noah Campbell. Batting in the 3-hole, we got Cam Scott of Carl Sandburg. And cleanup, we got Mitch Ball of Carl Sandburg, number 10. And a late addition, batting 5, we got Tyler Bishop of Washington. The 6th hole, we got Chase Burrett, Ulrich. And in the 7th hole, we got Cole Bakai. He's the DH. In the 8th hole, we got Colin Moorman of Wisconsin and Morton. And in the 9th hole, we got Peyton Bradford, number 32.
Here's lineup for the Miller Lite Falcons. They had a little bit of a slow start to the year, but have come back around the last couple of games. They found themselves in some close contests. And it'll be Bo Durbin, the multi-sport athlete that hails from Morton, to get things started here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah. Bo's a real solid ball player. Plays second and shortstop. Had a really, really good year at ICC this year, and just as a few weeks ago, just committed to Bradley to play baseball. So
indeed, that'll be a great addition for Elvis Dominguez and the Braves. And he fights this one into left field. That one is going back, and it's over the fence, or rather to the fence, excuse me. But Durbin scoots into second with a stand-up double. Miller Lite starting the game with some fireworks.
Solid swing there to take that ball opposite field. Love to see it.
And as an astute fan, just by me picked up, the wind is howling out that way, and he's right, the wind is really picking up out there to left field. That ball just carried. So Noah Campbell now, the Falcons' second baseman, takes his first AB with a runner in scoring position.
This is Bo Durbin off his former teammate, Hunter Thornton at ICC. They played together this year. Hunter pitched in a limited role at ICC, I believe, this year, but he plays a solid third base also.
Thornton is one of a couple good pitchers of Crusens Reds this year. If you look at the stats, the team stats from around the league, Crusens is just blowing away the field, at least in terms of batting for the most part. That one inside to Campbell.
If you look at second base, you can see Durbin almost playing with the pitcher there, looking like he's going to steal third. Probably unlikely with 0 outs, but it's definitely something to look for.
A pitch to Campbell, swing and a miss. Nice pitch there from Thornton. Thornton, a alum of Limestone High School, the Rockets, and you see Durbin, as Charlie mentioned,
Right.
sort of
You're right.
playing with the leadoff there, but decides to stay put. Count now 3-1.
Yeah, I doubt he goes with Jockish behind the plate. He's one of the better defensive catchers in the league. A really good arm.
Thornton's got to come in with ball.
You wonder now if a single scores him.
We'll put runners on first and second, and the athlete that Bo Durbin is, it depends on where it's hit, but you do like your chances of bringing in a run. So big opportunity here for Cam Scott, the right-hander, and plays right field, donning number 1. 2 runners on and nobody out. Golden opportunity here for Miller Lite in the early stages.
2022 MVP at the plate. Yep.
That one low and away. Good eye from Cam Scott. This year, Scott batting .391, so he's really came around as of late. He's got 6 RBIs on the year and can add to that total here.
I was gonna say right now, one of the main things that he's looking to do is move runners.
Just keep the line moving, and that one came straight at his head. Thornton just maybe lost a little bit of control there, but Scott remains ahead in the count. Cleaned up batter Mitch Ball lurking on deck for the Falcons. Swinging a good bat this year. Now in low and away again, so ball 3. Green light has got to be there for Cam Scott, but a walk here is not that bad. Loads the bases with no one out. That one in the zone there from Thornton. Needed that pitch. Crusens could really use a ground ball here. 3-1 pitch is hitting
we
the
go.
center. This one could get down. It does. It's a single.
Like
Durbin will hold up at third base. Not deep enough for him to score. Cam Scott gets on with a single, and the bases are now juiced.
Ivory cleanup hitter's dream right here. First 3 runners get on. Looking to make solid contact in a gap or down the line. Score 1 or 2.
Mitch Ball hitting .348 on the year, 4 RBIs. A big fly here could double that number.
Looks like we had a ball in the field.
It's a common occurrence. There's another game going on there across the way. Looks like it's the Firehouse Pizza Expos and the Move Smart Mariners playing over at the adjacent Dave Rogers Field, which we normally are. That one low and away. And Thornton goes into ball. This one is popped into short right. That's trouble. It gets down. And Durbin will come across the plate. Wasn't quite sure whether he should start running or not. A little bit of an in-betweener, but that's an RBI single, and Miller Lite has drawn first blood, and the bases are still loaded.
Tyler Bishop up, the Washington legend, as I like to call it. Amazing batting average for Washington all 4 years.
Participated in two state tournament runs.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop flies this one into center. It's caught by a ball, and a run comes across to score. So Bishop does his job with the sac fly. Runners move over to second and third, as the Falcons now lead by a pair and still threatening with their first baseman Chase Ulrich up to bat. I want to hit into right field, and that may bring across another one. Play at the plate.
Oh!
Collision there, but Falcons are going to score a run. It's Scott, and he is safe. That'll be run number 3 for the Miller Lite Falcons as we try and get that up on our scoreboard right now.
Like how he made sure he went back and hit the plate.
Yeah, looks like he had some little incidental contact. Looks like he didn't mean to slide, get too much of Joey with the backstop, but Joey just reached back at the same time, and they both collided a little bit.
See that a lot in the majors.
Yeah, a little incidental.
2 sac flies for the Falcons have put them up 3-zip. Mitch Ball is over at first, or third rather, excuse me. And he rips it hard down the right field line and out of play.
Bakai's he's in the 7 hole, but he gives Miller Lite a little bit of, not a little bit, but a lot of pop in that bottom of the order for them. As he's got 1 home run in it. And you saw that hard foul ball he hit. He barrels a lot of balls up when he does hit them.
3 of Bakai's 8 hits this year have been 4 extra bases. He's got a home run and 2 doubles. Swing and a miss there. And Thornton and the Reds are 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Inning that started with the first 4 batters reaching base.
Ooh.
That one fought off, just got a piece of it.
It's a hard pitch to hit, that inside 2-seam fastball that's cutting back at your hands.
Colin Moorman, the Miller Lite catcher, is on deck with some shin guards on right now, obviously with 2 outs. Want to be prepared for either scenario of what happens here. And the pitch to Bakai is chopped to the left side. Here's Keithy over to Frank Kelch, and that will do it for the Falcons in the bottom of the first, but what a way to start this one. They're up on the league leader, Crusens Reds, 3-0 after one. And while we're at a break, again, I want to thank our great sponsors that help make this evening's broadcast possible, starting with BODYARMOR, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. A great refreshing drink that comes in lots of different flavors, including just regular water as well. BODYARMOR is your sports drink of choice. I want to thank them for their support of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. And also by Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing for the longtime sponsors of the Miller Lite Falcons, the perennial championship contender Miller Lite Falcons, and also by Crusens. 3 locations in the Peoria area, 2 in Peoria, 1 in Creve Coeur for great food, great drinks, and occasionally some live music. Head on over to Crusens. It's turned into a pretty good night for baseball here in East Peoria, and you get a little bit of a live look in there across the way of Firehouse Pizza and Move Smart. I don't see the scoreboard working right now, but so early in that game.
It sounds pretty quiet. I think they're still 0-0 over there.
One would assume. I haven't heard any terribly loud cheers coming over from their Firehouse Pizza, having a great year. They're right behind Crusens in the standings at 10-2. Crusens 11-1. Miller Lite in third at 7-5. So 12 games through about the 21 game regular season here, the Sunday Morning League, and including all the rainouts we've had, it's starting to get time that you got to get on your horse and make a run if you want the regular season title. First up to bat for Crusens here, it's Frank Kelch, their hulking first baseman, who's got lots of power in that bat.
Not bad.
And McConkey deals. That one popped up and then will be out of play, so I'll even the count up at 2 if I'm not mistaken.
Clay McConkey doesn't really look to overpower his hitters with a big fastball. Mainly, his ball really moves a lot. See, his fastball moves, his changeup moves, curveball moves a lot.
McConkey, one of the older guys, and how about that? 12-6, Clay McConkey.
It's filthy.
Rings up Kelch.
With
an amazing off-speed pitch there. No chance for Kelch to hit that one.
That's the classic Clay McConkey 12-6 curveball. Just gets the top of the zone there.
They make that 3 straight now for Clay McConkey as Travis Grant, the Crusens left fielder, gets set to hit. Grant played club baseball at Iowa.
I think he was part of a national champion club baseball team in Iowa when he played there.
Hawkeye is always pretty competitive, I know, in the D1 sanction, but didn't know that they were such a good club team. You learn something new every day. Another 12-6 from McConkey is chopped over to the right side. Here's Campbell, fires over to Ulrich, and that will be out number 2. So McConkey 2 quick outs here in the top of the second, as Jack Barham, the Reds DH, is their last hope.
That spin on that curveball, something else. Ball just rotates.
Yep.
Who do we have here?
Number 12.
Jack Barham, it looks like. He was the late addition to the Crusens Red squad right before the game.
Barham, a Dunlap grad, just finished his 2 years at Carl Sandburg. He's a .256 career hitter with the Chargers and also pitched for them as well. Had a 5.56 ERA in his 2 seasons up in Galesburg. And Barb lays off the high fastball from McConkey, evens it up at 1. Turning into a nice evening here at the East Side Center in East Peoria. Temps, I'd say about maybe high 70s, low 80s. That one is popped up into the stratosphere. Waiting for it is Scott, but he dropped it. I think that is going to be a charge as an E9. And Jack Barham is going to get on base the easy way and keep the line moving for the Crusens Reds.
That ball just hung up there in the air. Not really hit very hard, just
I think he
really
just
high.
took his eye off of it last second. Wind's blowing a little bit from right to left, so may have had some play in there. Ooh.
And here's Joey Jokic, fouls one hard off the mask of his counterpart Colin Mormon.
See if Joey makes him pay. He got his swings really hard, so he definitely put a ball in a gap and score a runner from from first base here. So see what happens.
Jokic hitting .310 on the year. He's got a great eye. Just 3 strikeouts to 4 walks. That one low and in the dirt. Crusens, again, one of the best hitting teams in the league this year. Still early, but they're at a 3-0 deficit already to the reigning league champions.
nice.
That one
pitch.
to strike low and away. Conky just freezing some guys, and seen a lot of long looks in the batter's box from the Crusens batters so far in here in limited action. Here's 1-2. Tries to get him to chase and goes away.
You know, McConkey really, he reminds me of long-term Cubs pitcher Kyle Hendricks. Doesn't really throw very hard, hits his spots, a lot of control, a lot of movement.
That one chopped to the right side.
Both very loopy curveballs.
Yeah.
That will do it for the top of the second. Crusens puts the runner on with Barham reaching on the error, but Jokic not able to do anything with it, and we are through 1.5 here at the East Side Center. Miller Lite Falcons still holding a 3-0 lead over the Crusens Reds. And I want to thank our great sponsors that help make tonight's broadcast and this entire season possible, starting with Body Armor Sports Drink, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. Next time you're at the grocery store and need a good, refreshing drink full of flavor, good for before, during, after the action, or maybe if you just want to sip it at home, Body Armor Sports Drink. I want to thank them for being the official sports drink of PSML. And also by Miller Lite, Baumgarten Distributing, and also by Crusens, both of those sponsors of our 2 teams here today. Maybe you want to decide to have a Miller Lite at Crusens. You can do that if you so choose as we move on here into the bottom of the second. And due up for the Falcons, it'll be Colin Mormon, Peyton Bradford, then already back to the top of the order in Bo Durbin.
Here's a good view of 3-peat champion manager, 3-peat Sunday Morning League championship manager Lance Herdlicka. Longtime player, still playing. I think he's had a few at bats. He plays sparingly when he needs to, but he could still swing it. He could still swing it when Miller Lite needs to. But I think he's designated his role to mostly managing now. And he's done a pretty darn good job of it. So credit to him.
Certainly, and if I'm not mistaken, this is off the top of my head, but Miller Lite searching for their 4th straight league championship.
Correct. Yep.
It's going to be a close play over at first, and Mormon beats it out. Infield single, so he's got some wheels on him despite being a catcher.
Miller Lite may have started off slow, but a slow start this year. But everyone knows once late July, August comes around, they're a team you don't want to play. So.
Certainly, and it was sort of that same way last year. They
Yep,
started off
yep.
sort of ho-hum, and they just went on an absolute tear
Yep.
once July hits and rode that hot streak into Sunday Morning League playoffs. That one lowered away to Bradford. That's one aspect. Going back to talking about Lance Herdlicka, I love about the Sunday Morning League that sort of reminds you of really old-time baseball back when they were player managers. It's always kind of fun to see your coach get out there every once in a while, especially if need be. And some of these guys that are managers, some younger, some older, but in case of some of these guys, some older guys that really still have it. Really a mix of everything here in the Sunday Morning League. You got guys that just graduated college, maybe some guys that have a wife and kids, some guys that have been a part of the league maybe for 20, 30 years even.
We got Mike Kraft, who's 50, maybe 55 years old. He has not pitched yet this year, but I've seen him warming up in the bullpen. He's still throwing. He plays in an older gentleman's league in the late fall, so he's getting warmed up for that. And then they have Brian Quinn, not here tonight, but he still slings it. He still pitches.
Sure.
And this is his 20th year, and he still swings the bat well.
Yeah, Brian Quinn, one of the, let's say you probably could put him in the top 50 Sunday Morning League players of all time.
Yeah, easily. I would put him higher. I'd probably put him top 5.
Certainly.
Next to Don Weiss and some of the legends of Art Tomey.
Don Weiss, arguably one of at least looking at stats, he's on paper, I think one of the best, if not the best, Sunday Morning League player of all time.
Yep.
That one a strike to Bo Durbin.
So a little plug for the stats. You can find them all at psml.net. You can request a current player's stats and have almost have the printout like a back of a baseball card.
For sure.
There's a request form online. Check out the website.
You heard it here, folks. If you know somebody in the Sunday Morning League and want a baseball card of them, you can do that. Sunday Morning League. That one ripped to left, and that one is going to be fair. That's going to score a run. And Durbin, that's going to score 2 runs. That one goes into the corner. Durbin in with a second double and add 2 RBIs to his total as well. Miller Lite now leads 5-0 thanks to a 2-run double off the bat of Bo Durbin.
I believe that's now 8 RBIs on the season for Bo Durbin.
Yeah, real natural left-handed swing. He keeps his hands low and straight to the ball. He puts a lot of barrels on it that way.
If you want a Bo Durbin baseball card, that one's going to be filled with some pretty big numbers. That one high to Noah Campbell.
For that hit, that now puts him above fellow teammate Mitch Ball in the batting average category, as they were batting the same, but not anymore.
That one is skied up in the infield. Caden Spencer should have this one lined up. No guarantees, especially today with the sun, but he puts it away with little problem, and that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the second. Big out there for Crusens. They've struggled in both innings to get those early outs that's come back to haunt them. First 3 have reached in both the first and second innings.
If you're Cam Scott right now, I think you're looking to hit something hard to the right side of the diamond and advance Bo Durbin. If not, you're trying to get something over the second baseman's head.
Scott chops that one foul, got a piece of the plate.
No outs. I think only 1 out. One out.
And there's 1 out.
Yeah, Cam, Carl Sandburg alum, and then recently played at Ashland College this past spring. Had a good year there. Pitching and hitting. I think they used him more on the mound towards the later in the season once they saw his stuff. But he's been a dominant force on the mound in the Sunday Morning League ever since joining it the past 2 years.
Cam Scott's a great two-way player, and that's a big reason why he was league MVP last year. Hit .390 with 14 RBIs, chops that one foul, and then on the mound, he went 6-1 with a 1.02 ERA and 65 strikeouts. So
yeah.
This year it looks like Cam Scott has a just under 5 ERA in 13 innings.
Still got to give respect to anybody that plays two ways. Obviously, it's lots of talk here on two-way players, and now especially with the player that everyone knows nowadays, Shohei Ohtani.
Incredible player.
Ooh.
And Scott watches that curveball and
looks like, I think that was a knuckle. I think that was a knuckle curveball because I saw the laces, no spin. That was crazy. I didn't know he had that. Now I know.
Well, we'll see what sort of tricks Thornton has up his sleeve. Anything, even if it's just a straight knuckleball and knuckle curve, anything like that, very tough to hit. Got to give Scott credit for even getting a piece of that. Swing and a miss, and that will do it for Cam Scott. Big strikeout for Hunter Thornton in the Reds. That all-important second out here in the bottom of the second frame.
It's a nice combo there by Thornton to go with the really slow knuckle curve or whatever that was, and then blow it by him with the fastball.
Both guys attacking the top of the zone here today, both McConkey and Thornton.
I give a shout out. Just saw one of our viewers, Larry Larson, tuning in from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Larry is enjoying his summer break as the broadcaster for the Beloit Sky Carp. It's All-Star weekend for them. So Larry, the co-founder of Clip Sports Media, for those of you that don't know, enjoying some time off. Want to thank him and anyone else tuning in from wherever you are tonight. That one away.
Ooh.
Nice job there by Jokic keeping that ball in front of him and preventing Durbin from going to third, but with 2 outs, got to assume that even just a normal base hit would probably score Durbin. Pitch there is high and in.
Absolutely no, it did not.
2-1, chance for Miller Lite to build on their league, but they are looking mighty fine early on against the Crusens Reds. One of many games going on in the PSML tonight. Schedule was all thrown out of whack.
Good eye.
On his ball 4 to Midge Ball, and inning is extended now to the former Washington Panther Tyler Bishop. Take a look at the other games going on here tonight. As Bishop looks at strike one. We'll get those other games going on tonight to you in a second. We would say out-of-town scoreboard, but not all these games are out of town. Some of them being played across the river over at Peoria, Notre Dame, and Richwoods, but one being played right next to us here at the East Side Main Diamond and over at ICC.
I believe the Peoria Notre Dame games were canceled today because of field conditions. The game at ICC is being played, and then the 2 games at Richwoods are being played tonight between Tin Lizard and Peoria Legion, and then Peoria Legion and Poor Bros over at Richwoods. And
indeed, it's schedule we have here says it's Brienzo's and Cole's Diamond Gallery over at ICC. Firehouse and Move Smart was moved from P&D over to East Side.
See if we can get a score update in between innings here over from Firehouse and Move Smart.
And that game taking place just over next to us. Miller Lite, the chance to break open this game here. Base hit. Bishop flew out to center field as a sac fly that brought in Noah Campbell in the first inning, but that one is going to be strike 3. That will do it in the bottom of the second frame, but Miller Lite, Falcons still put up 2 on the board and lead 5-0 over the league frontrunner, the Crusens Reds. And while we're in between innings here, trying to get some scores to you, but in the meantime, we'll take a look at our great sponsors that make tonight's broadcast possible, starting with BODYARMOR Sports Drink, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. For one of the best sports drinks around, great refreshing taste and hydration before, during, or after the game, BODYARMOR Sports Drink is your sports drink of choice. And also by Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing, sponsors of the Peoria Sunday Morning League for over 2 decades, even longer. I want to thank them for sponsoring the Falcons of the Sunday Morning League, and also by the Crusens Reds for great food, including wings, pizza, and burgers, and more, and great drinks, live music. Head over to Crusens, 3 Peoria locations, down there at Farmington Road, not too far from Bradley University, or over on War Memorial, just across the street from Peoria Stadium, or in between East Peoria and Pekin on Route 29 in Creve Coeur. Crusens, I want to thank them for sponsoring the Reds of the Sunday Morning League. Zach Schulte, the Vice President of the Sunday Morning League, joining us here in the booth, and he just hopped over to Dave Rogers Field. Any score update from Firehouse Pizza and Move Smart?
3-1 in the third inning. Move Smart is winning 3-1.
It would be a big win for the Move Smart Mariners, who are sitting in the bottom half of the standings currently, but still not too late to make a run. They are 6th at 5-8 right now as Caden Spencer gets things going, and he's retired quickly 4-3.
Move Smart's been in a lot of games this season, just falling up a little bit short, which is sometimes the theme for some teams in the league is, once team gets over that hump of falling up short, and then things can turn around really quick. And once you get late July and early August and you get hot, anything can happen with the playoffs the way they are and how everyone makes the playoffs. And it's anybody's league at the end of the season.
Certainly, it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't matter for seeding purposes what your record is, but you can no matter if you go 0-21 and if you win the right games at the right time, you can make a deep run in the playoffs. So there's still hope, and Move Smart, again, kind of that dark horse team, maybe alongside Tin Lizard, as that one is some trouble in the left field. That'll be a base hit for Peyton Hankins, and he's going to try and stretch this into 2. Throw comes in. The tag, did not see it, but it looks like there was no tag as Hankins slides in with a double. That's big for the Crusens Reds.
Throw just a little bit off there. Still a really nice throw, showcasing that arm out there.
That was Peyton Bradford over in left field, but couldn't quite get Hankins, and that is actually the first hit of the ball game for Crusens. Back to the top of the order now in Jordan Ball.
Ball batting .484 on the season. It's an incredible batting average for those that don't know. He's getting a hit 48% of the time almost.
That one is chopped over to the right side, and
Exactly.
Miller Lite puts it away. That's Campbell over to Ulrich. Campbell been busy here.
That almost just hit first baseman Tyler Bishop.
Another air ball from our game happening next door. 2 down now for Miller Lite. Noah Funk, 2 batter for Crusens and playing shortstop today. Struck out his first time up. A chance to bring in the first run for the Reds today. That one fouled back up and out of play.
If you're Noah Funk right now, I think what you really want to do is just get the ball in play. the worst thing that can happen right now is a strikeout, but preferably I think you would want to hit a ball in the air, preferably out to the outfield.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
One out, anything on the ground past the pitcher will do. But if you want to for sure get that run in, Noah's got some pop. I've seen him hit balls 380 feet before.
And that one up and away, and home runs, not quite as easy to come by the Sunday morning league as maybe as they are in college ball or high school ball, where so many of these guys are fresh off of their seasons. Wood Bat League, the Sunday morning league is. Strike 3 there, and Clay McConkey gets strikeout number 4 of the evening and his second of Funk today. So Crusens puts another runner on base, still not able to bring across a run. It's the unstoppable force of the Reds' bats, but right now it's the immovable object in Clay McConkey and the Miller Lite pitching. The story of this game so far is we're through 2.5 innings of play, and we want to thank all of our sponsors that make tonight's broadcast possible. Starting with Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Sunday Morning League. Both CSM and the Sunday Morning League want to thank Body Armor for season-long sponsorship of the Sunday Morning League and the PSML Game of the Week right here on Clutch Sports Media. I also want to thank Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing, located in North Peoria, for all that Baumgarten Distributing does. I want to thank them and Miller Lite for their sponsorship of the Falcons, and also by Crusens, 3 locations in the Peoria area for great food and great drinks. Watch all the games. Maybe you can even watch the Sunday Morning League Game of the Week at Crusens. And also some live music as well. Head on over to Crusens, classic Peoria establishment. Rolling right along here into the bottom of the third. Jonathan Michael here in the booth alongside Charlie Schermerhorn and PSML Vice President Zach Schulte. Sun is coming out now, and the sun has really been shining well on the Miller Lite Falcons, playing a real good ball game so far on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing out of this game. We got solid contact from both teams as Crusens Reds really picked it up that last inning in the hits column, but great pitching from McConkey so far, but I think we still got a long ball game to go. A lot more innings, a lot can happen, so looking forward to it.
And this will be Chase Ulrich of the Falcons to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. He flew out to right field. That was a sac fly, so he didn't bring in a run.
Chase is really one of the more aggressive hitters in the Sunday Morning League. A really aggressive leg kick. You'll see it here. Yep.
See it there. He just really planted it. It flies it into right field, and on the run is Hankins. Makes the grab, so that's 2 flyouts to the right fielder from Chase Ulrich, but this one doesn't bring in a run.
Swing really reminded me of Justin Turner, the MLB.
A little bit.
Third baseman.
Keeps the hands low, and Justin Turner, another leg kick guy. Good comparison.
Now in chopped to third by Cole Bakai, and quickly 2 outs for the Crusens Reds. This is just the inning that they wanted. Haven't been able to get those early outs first 2 innings, but they have here in the third. Charlie, you mentioned Justin Turner. I like to say I like to compare you to Justin Turner, at least in terms of hair color.
Oh boy, here we go. No, definitely right on that one. The red hair. Except I don't have a beard that's
okay, soon enough.
3 feet long.
Soon enough.
Say, Charlie's just just heading into his sophomore year of high school. I don't think he'll be growing a beard anytime soon.
Nope.
I have one now, but I did not have one my sophomore year of high school. I can tell you that. That one hit to the right side by Moorman, and
Quick inning there.
Yeah.
quick toss from
Once
Spencer McKelch.
Once Thornton gets rolling, he goes quick.
And he does so there. 1, 2, 3 inning in record time. And again, no pitch clock in the Sunday Morning League, and they still play fast. Crusens cruises to the bottom of the third. That one.
That was great.
That one was that one was intended
pretty
tonight.
good.
No, it was bad.
I
So
loved it.
I liked it.
having some fun here in the booth here at Clutch Sports Media. Glad you're with us here for the Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. A reminder, you can catch the Sunday Morning League Game of the Week every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. right here on Clutch Sports Media. We'll have, I believe, 2 more weeks of the regular season here, and then we'll also have some playoff games. We're in the works trying to get some playoff games worked out here on CSM to make up for the 2 weeks that we missed due to rain out. So stay tuned to our social media channels for that at Clutch Sports Media on Instagram and Clutch Sports IL on Twitter. Real quick, want to thank all of our sponsors that help make tonight's broadcast possible, starting with Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League and the PSML Game of the Week here on CSM, and also by Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing, their longtime support of the Miller Lite Falcons, and also by Crusens, great Peoria establishment, great food, drinks, live music, and watch all the local games. Head on over to Crusens. I think their unofficial slogan is, it's Crusens, duh. So,
Where do you want to go?
Crusens, duh.
Yep.
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Crusens wings, I gotta say. Wing Ding Wednesday was a popular special, at least at Crusens on Farmington Road. From my days at Bradley, a lot of kids would head over and get some wings. And
Were you a big farm guy, Jonathan?
I wasn't. I don't want to get into it too much. I will
It's
say
okay.
I will
It's
say
all right.
I have been to Crusens before.
It's all right. We all have.
And I can tell you that it still remains very popular with the
Yeah.
Bradley
There you
clientele.
go.
I will
There you go.
say that.
You know, I can tell you, I have never been to Crusens before. Never.
It's all right. It's all right.
Most people are on.
Yeah.
See, the thing is,
Never been there.
Yeah. I've been to Crusens on War, and then now you catch me a lot at Poor Brothers in Peoria Heights.
Yeah.
Poor Brothers and Slow Hand Craft Barbecue.
Yeah,
Good.
no, for sure.
Yeah. And then Branzo's over there, also another league sponsor. So a lot of good going on over there in that area.
Certainly, it seems like a lot of the spots of the PSML located sort of in the Peoria Heights area. And truth be told, I didn't really know much about Poor Brothers before I knew about the Sunday Morning League, and I think I'm gonna have to head over there.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a really
Good.
cool place.
Live
Lots of stuff going
music
on.
every Saturday. Live music, and then the Slow Hand Craft Barbecue right on top is great. Best barbecue you can find in Peoria.
Sure, one sponsor I do know of very well is Brienzo's. I've been to Brienzo's, really good pizza
firewood pizza and wings
over there in the Heights as well. I also encourage you to patronize our other businesses like Tin Lizard Pub and Grill over at Paradise Hotel and Casino over in East Peoria. Also, we got Firehouse Pizza and Pub, Move Smart Realty Group, Cole's Diamond Gallery. There's the 0-2 to Frank Kelch.
Yes, he
and
did.
the appeal and the field ump says he laid off.
These are
Tough one to take there.
Pretty close.
These are two experienced umpires. Not to say anything bad about any other umpires, but these two guys are some of my favorite. Parker Kelly and Dylan Polson. I think they're both very confident in their calls. And Peoria Sunday Morning League, there's no replay, so whatever is called on the field is called on the field. That's where it goes. So, and
Frank Kelch maybe wishing he could hit the replay button there, as McConkey strikes him out looking for the second time today. So that will be the first out of the top of the fourth inning as Travis Grant digs in with a runner on and 1 out. Grant grounded out to second base in his
1 out.
first time up.
Now this guy reminds me of Justin Turner. He's got the beard.
He does.
Travis Grant, longtime SML player, and you watch him if he puts a ball in play and gets to run to first base. He's in his 30s, but he runs as fast as I think he may ever has. I'm sure he's ran fast when he was younger, but he runs fast as just about anybody else here.
And Crider to short. They get one at second. Can they get it at
Nope.
first? No. And as you mentioned,
You're not
that
beating it.
speed from Travis Grant.
Yep, he's beating that out every time. And the beard's not weighing him down at all.
I was about to say, usually beard can mess with the aerodynamics as you're hustling down the first base path, but not for Travis Grant. I can't say I've done much scientific research on the aerodynamics of beards before, but we'll have to
I think it's good if you're diving, making a diving play in the outfield.
Yeah.
It keeps you soft landing on your face if
no
you
kidding.
were to hit it.
No kidding. As I'll bring up Jack Barham now with 2 outs, runner on first.
Coming into this game, Jack Barham was batting a solid 1,000. 3 at bats, he had 3 hits. It's a pretty impressive stat line there.
So he reached out an error, so he's still batting 1,000 as at first plate appearance, not counted as an at bat after reaching on that error. So hopefully we don't jinx anything here, but
He's
Barham off to a good start.
He's got a pretty decent OPS over 2.
Yeah, 3 for 3 with a double. That'll do it.
Runner on first, chance to do some damage here. Runner going, and Mormon decides not to throw, so Travis Grant,
Good jump.
the speedy beard, over in second base. That's huge now for Crusens. Runner on scoring position and 2 outs.
So that brings a whole new light to this inning for the Reds, because even just a single, the speed on second base, that'll probably be enough to score him.
Barham fouls that one off. In case you're just tuning in, Miller Lite, they got on the board early with 3 runs in the top of the first. First 4 runners reached base. Added 2 more in the bottom of the second. Crusens, they've only had 3 base runners today. Now a tough pitch to take, and we have ball to Barham.
It's a pretty good eye there. It's close.
3-1. We'll correct that on our score bug. And Barham keep the perfect batting average alive. This one hit well into left. Could be trouble. He's flipped the bat.
Whoa.
That one's over the fence. Jack Barham. Not only does he keep the perfect batting average alive, he keeps his team alive with a 2-run blast over the left field wall, and Crusens is right back in it.
Brad, go ahead.
3 RBIs on the season now. Only 3 plate appearances. 5 plate appearances. That's a pretty solid line.
4 for 5. Bradford put his hands up immediately, like was gone 20 feet over the fence. But
I've never had that feeling before.
it's okay. You don't play MLB The Show?
No. I play the show, but that's different.
Yeah.
No, when I hit, I either struck out or hit a ground ball.
Jack Barham with a no-doubter over the left field fence. And we said earlier, you don't see a ton of home runs in the Sunday Morning League. Believe that's the first over-the-fence home run we've seen, at least here on Clutch Sports Media, this year in our games of the week.
I think we had Pajoli hit one off the top of the fence during the broadcast. But
that's right, that very first one.
I think I argued that was a home run, but it bounced back in, so I had to stand corrected that day.
Yeah, that one was one I remember that play vividly. I wish that we had a camera out in the outfield for that. I wish we had instant replay, but if it bounces back in, I think you kind of got to go at least without a replay. Got to assume that it didn't cross because it just maybe hit the front of it.
Yep. No, this east side fence was moved back a little bit. I think it was like 310 last year. Now it's more closer to 325 in left field. So that ball's belted pretty good.
Guy there from Jokic. That'll now make it 3-1. Base is now empty for the Reds, but any not over. Still time for a rally if something good happens, but this one flat out in the right. And Cam Scott battling the sun makes the grab. That'll do it through the top of the 4th. Crusens puts a pair on the board thanks to a big shot from their DH, Jack Barham, who was a late addition into the lineup. So Crusens probably feeling pretty good about that. And they draw closer to the reigning league champion Miller Lite Falcons as we head now into the bottom of the fourth.
All right, Jonathan, I'm gonna take off. Charlie, thanks for having me on. I got to run over to Richwoods to play the Peoria Legion team with my team, Poor Brothers, and so wish me luck.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
honestly, again, Zach Schulte, ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Sunday Morning League. Want to give him a huge thanks for stopping in the booth today. Vice President, also one of the league's batting leaders. He's got a game to play with the Poor Bros Jacks tonight. I want to thank Zach and all the Sunday Morning League administration for all that they do, giving us some insight here on the broadcast tonight. Sunday Morning League, can't say enough good things about them, and Tim Cundiff, the president, really helped us a lot navigating new territory. First time ever that Sunday Morning League games have been broadcasted, and it's been an honor to do so here on Clutch Sports and Media. As you look at Zach exiting the premises. As we'll take a break and remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. For a great, refreshing, and hydrating sports drink, Body Armor comes in a variety of flavors. It should be your choice. And also by Miller Lite, Baumgarten Distributing, and also by Crusens, over 2 locations in Peoria, 1 over in East Peoria, or rather Creve Coeur, I should say. I thank them for their support of the Crusens Reds. Moving on here into the bottom of the fourth, as Peyton Bradford will get things started here for the Miller Lite Falcons. He's drawn a walk today and fouls that one back.
Bradford with the 389 average on the season.
That one inside nearly hits Bradford, but he dodges it away skillfully, evens the count up at 1.
You know, I bet Thornton's going to go lone away here. Something on the outside.
And he does.
A little bit outside.
Charlie Schermerhorn, the fortune teller. Peyton Bradford can't do anything with it, though. Flies out to Hankins over in right field for the first out of the bottom of the inning.
You know, I've seen him do that a lot. He throws that inside fastball pretty hard, gets the batter off the plate a little bit, and then he backs it up with either an off-speed pitch or another fastball on the outside part of the plate.
That is some top-tier analysis, Charlie, got to say, as Durbin swings and misses. I want to thank all of our crew for coming out, making a nice broadcast possible. It's a small but mighty crew, just myself, Jonathan Michael, Charlie Schermerhorn, and Josh Bessinger running our camera today. Charlie making his broadcast debut, if I'm not mistaken, at least here on CSM.
Correct, yeah. Really excited to be here.
It's a great night for baseball.
That it is. Not too hot, not too cold.
No, we've had some real sweltering nights. Just a couple weeks ago, back in June, there were some ones where you're just sweating through just about every piece of clothing you could put on. As Durbin lifts it in the left, it's back at the fence.
No. Ooh, ground rule
And
double.
that one is gone.
Oh, it's
It
gone.
is a round tripper. The umpire signaled a home run. I'm not sure if Durbin
I
knows
believe
it.
that's a ground rule double. I think that ball bounced over the fence rather than went over. If I'm not mistaken.
Pardon the mistake there. Still a big hit for Durbin, who now this is probably approaching a Sunday Morning League record, has 3 doubles. 3 for 3, and all 3 have been 2-base hits. What a game Bo Durbin is having.
You know, Durbin next year, or this year, is going to go join Mid-Illini rival Easton Harris and Gus Lucas over at Bradley University.
The Mid-Illini pipeline, as Campbell fouls that one back, and Bradley is very strong. As you mentioned, Charlie, you got Easton Harris and Gus Lucas, both just finished up their freshman years. They're from Washington, as is Charlie. We have Ryan Vogel, one of the best center fielders in the entire league, who's from Metamora. You have Jackson Chatterton and John Day, Taylor Catton, all from Dunlap. And you got Travis Lutz, an ICC alum, who's also played here in the Sunday Morning League. And you got Morton represented. Obviously with Durbin, there are a couple other guys from Morton that came through, like Dan Bolt and Isaiah Gudeman. So all sorts of local talent just funnels right in to the Bradley Braves program. That one taken low.
Middle Illini is always competitive. The Morton Potters almost every year, along with Washington and Dunlap, are usually really good and have a really hard time seeing who's going to win the Middle Illini. Oh.
Durbin
Durbin
hit
takes
and
off.
run. That
Almost.
one
Whoa.
a single through, and Durbin is going to score easily. Noah Campbell is going to hold up at first, but Falcons, that is a textbook hit and run there. And they add another score to their tally. Credit the RBI to Noah Campbell, his first of the game, bringing in Durbin.
That kind of scared me a little bit. Durbin almost got hit by that ball. At least from my angle, it looked like it.
He almost did. He narrowly missed it. Durbin probably would have slid safely into third. Still in base if Campbell didn't make contact, but guessed right on that pitch from Thornton. And that will get one back to their lead.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another attempt at a stolen base. It doesn't really look like Thornton's checking the runners anymore, or at least on the last few pitches he hasn't. That one he did. But you know, when a pitcher stops checking on his runners, that allows the base runners to get a pretty big lead that they can get a pretty decent jump from, and just allows for more stolen bases.
Certainly is Cam Scott now ahead 2-0. Some trouble maybe brewing for Crusens, that increases with a single there from Cam Scott. Yes, another single, and that's what Miller Lite's really done well today, is just whenever they get one, they keep on getting more. And for Crusens, it's when it rains, it pours. Miller Lite hit parade today, and we'll see if Mitch Ball can keep things going.
Let's go, Mitchell.
Top of the lineup for the Falcons has been absolutely lethal today, as Scott takes, or rather Ball takes a look at strike one. Durbin's 3 for 3 with all doubles. Campbell's 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and an RBI. And Cam Scott 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And this man, Mitch Ball, the cleanup batter, has singled, walked, and has an RBI.
Mitch Ball's probably looking to elevate something right now rather than keep it on the ground. That way there's no risk of a double play to end the inning.
Hit one in the air, especially to left field. That ball could carry out of here. Getting some aiding wind. That one hit down the right field line, though. Ooh. That ball is fair,
it's fair,
just inside the chalk. This will score one. Ball all the way to second. And Scott is coming around to third. And Ball is sliding into throw with a triple. The throw is past him, but he won't try for the inside the park home run. Mitch Ball with a 2-run triple, and Miller Lite is right back in business after giving up 2 to Crusens in the top of the frame. Nice piece of hitting there from Mitch Ball, and after that 1-2-3 inning from Thornton, it seemed like Crusens may be settling in, especially on the pitching side of things. But Miller Lite is still threatening and has already scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th. And I'll bring up Tyler Bishop now. He's got 2 flyouts so far today. Go ahead.
I said a flyout will definitely do. That'll get a runner in.
I was going to say he's had 1 sac fly here and has an opportunity for number 2. That one is fouled.
That can't feel good. I don't know if that hit him off the foot or shin, but it's not a good feeling.
No,
not
definitely not.
I've seen guys in the majors like break toes on that stuff.
Yeah. Certainly have. As Bishop will just look to put this one in play. ground out could score a ball as well. Miller Lite putting together a real fine game in this matchup between the finalists of the championship series of the Sunday Morning League last year. Miller Lite won the best out of 3 series 2-0. That one grounded a second. Nice flash of the leather by Caden Spencer on the short hop. And Bishop kind of lumbers on down to first, but still brings in ball. And that'll be good enough to push another one across the plate. 9-2 your score now.
It's a nice pick, especially on turf. Saw that earlier with ball as he hit that 2-run triple. The ball just rolls on turf. It's gonna jump on you. While it may not be hit as hard as you think it is, it gets on top of you way quicker than you expect it to. So, really nice play there.
As certainly the a little bit of a change at some players of the Sunday Morning League gonna have to get used to. This east side turf field, brand new, as Ulrich hits it well to center. It's deep, but it's into the glove of Mitch Ball. That will do it in the bottom of the 4th. And Miller Lite adds 4 to their total. RBI single from Noah Campbell, the 2-run triple from Ball, and the RBI ground out from a Tyler Bishop. Everyone is hitting well for the Falcons here tonight, and they are up big on the Sunday Morning League frontrunners right now, the Crusens Reds, who came into this game leading the league at 11-1. Miller Lite in 3rd at 7-5, but this result holds. It could be a big game picked back up in the standings. And as we have a quick break, we want to thank Body Armor for being the official sports drink and sponsor of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. For a great refreshing sports drink before, during, or after the game. I want to thank Body Armor for their support of the PSML, and also by Baumgarten Distributing and Miller Lite for their support of the Miller Lite Falcons, and also by Crusens. Want to know where to go to eat or have a drink, go see live music? It's Crusens, duh. I'm gonna say at Crusens, duh. About as many chances as I get, I gotta say it's infectious.
I like that.
And you know what else has been infectious is Clay McConkey's performance here today. Really talking about a lot about Miller Lite's bats, but Clay McConkey is doing what Clay McConkey does best. Give up that home run, but aside from that, he's looked real good tonight.
You know, one of the key stat lines in a quality pitcher is whip, walks and hits per innings, and Clay McConkey's whip is just above 1.02 to be exact. So essentially what that means that he's giving up 1 base runner per inning, and that's a really solid stat for him, because the more that you can limit runners on base, obviously the more that you can limit the runs that you give up.
There you see that just lethal 12-6 curve right there for strike 2. About that 1 runner per inning is about what McConkey has had so far tonight. He allowed a runner to reach via an error, although that wasn't obviously his fault. As he strikes out Caden Spencer to start the top of the 5th. And runner reached in the top of the 3rd. That was Hankins with the RBI double, and then 2 runners reached in the last inning, so he's 4 base runners allowed through 4 innings. Not giving Crusens much of a chance to climb back into this one, but there's still 3 innings left to play, including this one. That one rocketed back over onto the diamond where Firehouse Pizza and the Move Smart Mariners are playing. This is Hankins now, who had that double. Only extra base, or I should say second extra base hit for Crusens today. Jack Barham's 2-run shot was the other.
Looks like McConkey released that ball a little bit too late. Dirt ball, I like to call it.
Here's the 1-1 to Hankins. Close pitch, but just a little bit out of the zone. Coming into this game, Charlie, Crusens led the league by a wide margin in batting average at .338. Number 2 team was, you guessed it, Miller Lite at .284. So a 54-point difference between these two teams. At least in terms of batting average. It's a stat that doesn't always tell the whole story, but it's usually a good indicator. Both these teams are two of the best slugging teams in the Sunday morning league as well.
Yeah, whoa.
Swing and a
Feels
miss.
a
That
curveball.
is going to be a dropped third, but Moorman fires it
Nice
down
play. That's a nice
to
play.
Ulrich. Nice throw, and that'll be out number 2.
Anyways, I was saying, I think a lot of people are quick to judge teams on how they hit and how they pitch, but one of the main key factors is their defense. So I was looking at the Miller Lite Falcons, and I was like doing some math calculations of how many unearned runs they've given up, and that is not a high number. Their defense is pretty superior.
Especially in such a short season where every game counts so much. You can't give up those unearned runs as Jordan Ball chops it right back to McConkey. And it's a 1-2-3 frame for him and the Falcons. He's just cruising right along as he's done in his entire Sunday morning league career. On to the bottom of the 5th. Jonathan Michael and Charlie Schermerhorn here with you on the Peoria Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. Glad you're tuning in. How about anybody that's tuning in? I want to see where everyone is tuning in from. Obviously, maybe some guys from Peoria or East Peoria, that area may be tuning in, but no matter where you are, our live chat is open. Let's see where everyone's from. Earlier we had Lake Geneva tuning in, or Larry Larson tuning in from Lake Geneva. As we move on here in the bottom of the 5th. And while we have a quick break, we'll thank our great sponsors, Body Armor Sports Drink, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. And also by Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing, sponsors of the Sunday Morning League for over 2 decades. And also by Crusens, a little bit of a newer sponsor, but has still been in the game for quite some time here in the Sunday Morning League. I want to thank all of them. I want to encourage you to patronize all of the sponsors and for the teams on the PSML. Getting another live look in there at Move Smart and Firehouse Pizza. And that Move Smart pitcher doesn't have a Move Smart Mariners jersey. He's wearing a shirt that says York Baseball. How to find out who that is? And you get to look at the East Side Center. You get to look at Corny Clatt Field. Back in the distance beyond the right field wall of the adjacent field, that's the home football stadium of the East Peoria Raiders. Also home to their soccer team and some track events held there as well. Nice place. Lots of fields and diamonds for soccer, baseball, softball, all here at the East Side Center. As getting set to go for Miller Lite here in the bottom of the 5th is Cole Bakai, their DH. And we're going to look at Bakai's numbers.
Batting just under
On the year.
300. Solid 296.
Out a ball there to Cole Bakai. Take a look at the upcoming schedules for both teams here as trying to pull that up. Got a good eye there from Bakai. Miller Lite coming up after this. This is actually the first game of a doubleheader, and on the full count pitch, Mackay strikes out against Thornton, so one down here in the bottom of the fifth. Apologies for the scoreboard reading one strike. It's full disclosure, I'm pulling double duty tonight, running the scoreboard and calling the game, so trying to stay on top of every pitch. That one fouled back by Mormon.
One thing I've noticed about Colin Mormon is that he likes to swing a lot. In the last few at bats, he's swung at the first pitch. You know, sometimes if you get a good pitch, like right down the middle, in your at bat, you want to look to hit that ball, but sometimes I feel like patience is a virtue.
Certainly, as Mormon grounds it over to third, he's got to hustle it over to first, but doesn't make it in time as Keithy fires over to Kelch for out number 2 of the inning. So
nice play from the Pekin native. 1 foot.
That was a nice play over there at third. Seen some nice flashes of the leather tonight. Going back to the upcoming schedule real quick for Miller Lite, give you a taste of what's to come. It's the first game of a doubleheader tonight. Lots of doubleheaders rest of the way as Peyton Bradford singles it over into right field. So the 9-hole hitter doing his job as a wraparound guy and keeps the line moving for the Falcons. And then after that, Falcons have a doubleheader with the Move Smart Mariners over at the East Side Main Diamond. That's on Sunday. Then on Tuesday, these two teams will play again as part of the Dozer Park Series. That's a game you won't want to miss. Two of the best teams in the league playing right at Dozer Park. A game Tuesday at 6 p.m.
You know, that was a great job by Bradford there just to barrel up a ball in the right center field. Gives Bo Durbin, who's 3 for 3 on the day, another opportunity to get some runners forward, if not scoring.
Well, earlier in the game, we said that Jack Barham was 3 for 3. The broadcaster's jinx did not occur there. He then hit a home run. Bo Durbin, 3 doubles today. We'll see if he can make it a 4th or if the broadcaster's jinx and our luck is run out. Durbin chops it to the shortstop. I doubt this will be a double. You never know.
He might.
Throw over to first is
Close play,
but enough to retire Durbin, and Crusens gets a scoreless frame from Hunter Thornton and their defense.
I think Thornton's kind of starting to find his groove a little bit. Quick inning there again.
Certainly think so, and first 3 innings were a little rough, and also a little bit of a rough 4th inning, giving up 4 runs there, but it's been a little bit of mix of hot and cold for Thornton and the Reds, but that one, nice inning for him and his squad as we move on to the top of the 6th. Miller Lite leading 9-2. They jumped on the Reds early and went up 5-0 until Crusens came back with a 2-run home run from Jack Barham. He's now 4 for 4 on the year. While we have a quick break, I want to thank all of our sponsors that make tonight's broadcast possible, starting with Body Armor, the official sports drink of the PSML and the Sunday Morning League Game of the Week right here on Clutch Sports Media. And also by Baumgarten Distributing / Miller Lite and Crusens, 3 locations here in the Peoria area, one of them being in Creve Coeur. Some work in, making full use of all the East Side Center has to offer. Good to see maybe some future Sunday Morning League players in that group. Charlie, we talked about before the game, there's lots and lots of local players.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not every high school or college player in the area plays for the Sunday Morning League, but there's a very good amount.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, any sort of talent at all, you're probably going to play for the PSML after you graduate high school. Some guys go right out of high school into the Sunday Morning League, the oldest amateur league in America.
Yes, certainly. I was looking through some rosters earlier, and I saw that 2 more Middle Illini Valley Conference players were playing in
Indeed.
this league. One being Jake Stewart and the other being Josh Hyder.
Yep.
2 Washington natives, so I know them off the top of my head. That rings a bell. Both very 2 talented players who were also on the, I believe it was 3rd place and 4th place runs for state for Washington a few years ago.
Indeed.
Certainly.
As wind's starting to pick up here on our mics, but Clay McConkey making some wind of his own. That strikeout from Noah Funk. As that's McConkey is now had to count him up 8th strikeout of the night. Try and get all of our papers here in order. Wind really starting to pick up, so we're gonna hit a ball to left field. The time is now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls one. He's got an open stance there, especially on an inside pitch. He's going to look to pull the ball.
1-1 here to Jack Keithy. He's singled so far today and also struck out. Pops that one back up over the backstop here at the East Side Center turf field. Frank Kelch is on deck for the Reds, the big slugger for them, who's a pair of home runs on the year, is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So Kelch and McConkey, that's the matchup of one of the arguably the best hitter and arguably the best batter in the league. But McConkey has prevailed both times here tonight. On 2 from the Falcons pitcher, low and away. Good eye there as they'll even the count back up.
McConkey staying on the outer part of the plate.
This one hit well into center field, back at the wall, just in front of the wall. At least from our angle, looks like he was right in front of the wall. Is Mitch Ball making the catch, and Keithy is retired for out number 2. A very loud out, but still an out nonetheless, and Crusens can't make too much more on. They're going to need a pretty big run at this point of the game.
It's a nice catch on the run there from Ball. Little drop step and
as Kelch
catch.
pops this one up in foul territory. Ulrich lines it up and just barely makes the grab. That will do it in the top of the 6th inning. Clay McConkey and Miller Lite looking mighty fine here in the Peoria Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. Falcons trying to get to 8-5 on the year and draw one game closer to Crusens in the league standings. It's about 2.5 weeks left or so in the season as you get a look at how we get foul balls down at the East Side Center. You see they poke it with a pole and it runs off the net and falls through a little hole in the net right behind our camera operator Josh Messenger.
Number 44, Parker Bradford, going in for the big time, I don't know what to call that, ball picking up. Certainly a tall figure.
Not sure who that is, but it's a Miller Lite player helping us
That
get
is
the balls down.
44, Parker
right
Bradford.
in front of us. There we go. It's up. It's up. That one's looking good. Will it fall through the hole? Not quite. That's some free entertainment for you that we didn't expect to see, but you get it nonetheless. But as we move on here to the bottom of the 6th, quick word for all of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Peoria Sunday Morning League. Miller Lite and Baumgarten Distributing. Thank you for all that they do around the Peoria area, especially maybe supplying establishments like Crusens for great drinks and food, great environment, and watch all the games. So Crusens Sports Bar should be one of your choices of where to go. If you're wondering Where to go? It's Crusens, duh. Moving on here to the bottom of the 6th. Chance for Miller Lite to add some insurance runs.
A new pitcher in the game. Crusens Reds. That's number 0.
It's Noah Funk.
Noah Funk.
Moves from shortstop to pitcher, and we'll see. Trying to get a look at who the new shortstop for the Reds is. Getting exactly to see the number from here, but we'll try and get that to you as soon as possible.
Looks like number maybe 22. Should be
That,
Reed Storbaum.
that would be Reed Stufflebeam from Crusens, who was in the lineup because he wasn't here at the start of the game, but shows up, and if that is him, he gets to play. As here's Noah Campbell now for the Falcons. He is 2 for 3, or rather 1 for 2. A single, a walk, and a pop out.
Got a little sunshine on the field now.
Now we'll see what that wreaks any havoc with any of the shadows. I feel like the shadows a little bit more in play, at least they feel more in play at this game at the turf field than they normally do over at our normal setup over across the way. Could just be me, but that is ball 4
Close
to Campbell.
call.
That'll be his second free pass of the contest. So Funkin, first batter he sees, gives him the free pass. See if Noah Funk's stats are, at least pitching-wise this year.
In the meantime, Cam Scott.
Looks like
Set the
this
play.
is Funk's first appearance on the mound this year. Don't see any stats for him, so maybe you figure it's a doubleheader. You're down 7 runs. You know, really no use in trying to throw maybe one of your better guys in the pen out to maybe save him up for the second game and maybe just kind of not wave the white flag, but make sure your guys are all rested up because there is game 2 coming later. We won't have that for you here on Clutch Sports Media, but if you live close enough, you can maybe head out to the ballpark or also follow along on Game Changer. It's something you can do with the Peoria Sunday Morning League. Or you can also, after the game is done, with the Sunday Morning League website, that one really inside, nearly hits Cam Scott.
Funk's working inside. Last 3 pitches have been on the inside part of the plate. Wonder if he's trying to make a statement. Scare the batters off.
Maybe try and go inside out. This one is pounded by Scott. That one, another bat flip, another home run.
Sorry.
That is well
Whoa.
beyond the left field fence. Cam Scott, the home run derby was last night, or 2 nights ago, I should say. Should have put Cam Scott in it. Maybe a late entry. An absolute bomb to left field. That's the 3rd home run.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was on
Second
the,
home run we've seen today.
I believe that was on the other field.
I think it was.
Yeah, there's a guy going to get the ball. It was a moonshot.
A tape measure shot from Cam Scott. I am in disbelief how far he hit that baseball. It's the furthest one I've seen, at least in the league this year. Fan says we got to measure that, and I agree. I don't know how you do it. Maybe you, if you're there's any golfers here that have a rangefinder in their trunk. Maybe have someone stand where that ball landed, then point the rangefinder at the person. That's my best idea of how to measure that. Can't pick up a tape measure that would measure that at Menards. Mitch Ball is up now, and a little bit of a tough at to follow up. And Mitch Ball gets hit by the pitch. So Miller Lite just keeps on putting runners on base. So ball will shake that one off. Sure as a laugh with Frank Kelch down at first. I'm sure there's plenty of smiles over right now in the Miller Lite dugout. I'll be taking this momentum into game 2 of the doubleheader coming up right after this as Bishop swings and misses at strike 1.
Quick note, I just saw somebody from the Reds dugout hop down to the bullpen. It's number 21.
And number 21 for the Reds, that's Truman Reed, Metamora product. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Reed just graduated from Metamora. A young fella. At one away for ball 2.
0 outs. I would not be surprised if we see him enter this ball game in this inning.
And Funk's first outing of the year on the mound has been a rough one. At least certainly early going. 3-1 now to Bishop. A walk, a home run, and a hit by a pitch. Not exactly what you want to do, but it's just been the game it's been for Miller Lite. Another walk there for Bishop, who, not sure if I quite caught it, but it looks like he's still donning his Washington Panthers batting helmet there. Let me get a look from our camera operator when he turns around, and it looks like that's an orange bill to me.
Yup, that it is.
That's Panther Pride here at the East Side Center.
It's got the logo on the front half of his helmet.
First pitch strike now to Chase Ulrich, the Falcons' first baseman. Ulrich so far today is 0 for 3, all 3 flyouts. And that's a ground ball.
Nice play.
Got it over to third. That one is airmail. That one's out of play.
Bishop's going to go to third.
And ball will come across. Everyone will advance 2 bases, so we'll put runners on second and third now. Still nobody out.
I know Funk has had some control issues so far at the very start of his debut. If I'm him right now, I'm not going to pitch around. I'm not going to pitch around Bakai. I'm going to go straight after him.
Score right now is 12-2, and normally we'd call this game a 10-run mercy rule, but we're still playing here in the bottom of the 6th, so. We're still playing it right now. This is the love of the game personified. 10-run game, but we're still playing.
Nice block by Joey Jockish behind the plate. Catchers don't get enough credit sometimes.
Gotta say, and especially when Zach Schulte said that Jockish is one of the best defensive catchers in the league, as that one is also over the fence. Cole Bakai throws his name in the home run ring. And he's playing a home run derby now, too. It's 15-2. Miller Lite. This has got to be the game of the year.
John, I believe
for them.
This is the game.
And that is the game right there. Now they'll call the game because of mercy rule. What an outing from the Miller Lite Falcons. They take down the league frontrunner Crusens Reds 15-2. And a game that is ended early by the run rule.
What an outing by Clay McConkey, too. Excellent job pitching. Hit his spots well. Ball had a lot of movement on it, and he was able to strike out some batters, get some weak hits. Aside from the home run, overall, though, it's a pretty solid outing.
Amazing game on both sides of the ball for Miller Lite. Clay McConkey, complete game, gives up 2 runs. See how many hits he gave up. We can count them up pretty easily because he didn't give up a lot. Only gave up 2 hits, a double to Hankins and a home run to a Barham. He also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. And Miller Lite batting. Bo Durbin, he had 3 doubles. Noah Campbell had 2 walks and RBI. Cam Scott went 3 for 4. Mitch Ball reached base every single time. A single, RBI single, 2-run triple, a walk, a hit by a pitch. Tyler Bishop added a sac fly. Chase Ulrich added a sac fly. Bakai That 3-run shot over the left center field fence to end the game. Colin Mormon added a single. Peyton Bradford added a walk and a single. So everyone contributed for the Falcons, but it was really that top and middle part of the order that did it for them today. Very impressive win, Charlie, and I think that's one that establishes a Miller Lite, even though they're not in the top of the standings right now, it's a team that can very easily still win their 4th league championship in a row.
So yeah, going into this game, they were 4 games back. If the Expos lost, that makes them now 3 games back. The Crusens Reds. You know, even though the Reds only had 2 runs this game, I think that Jack Barham really made his spot permanent in the lineup. I think with the home run, that kind of sealed the deal that he can hit. He's got a 1,000 batting average. I think that he's 5 for 5 now.
Yeah, certainly. Lots to look forward to for Crusens. They take the loss, though, here in Game 1. They'll have a chance to get one back, though, in Game 2. A new game, and bright side for the Reds, they won't have to face Clay McConkey here in Game 2, so maybe that's something for them to look forward to. Maybe they can snatch a game and split this double header. But it's been a great evening here at the East Side Center. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Peoria Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. We'll be back here at the East Side Center, barring any weather cancellations, which we, fingers crossed, knock on wood, we won't have any. We've already had 2 this year, but we'll be back next week right here on Clutch Sports Media, YouTube, and ClutchSportsIL.com for the Sunday Morning League Game of the Week. But until then, I give a shout out to all of our crew, Josh Messenger and Charlie Schermerhorn, for tonight's broadcast and a great debut in the booth for Charlie, I must say. And also big thanks to Zach Schulte, Vice President of the Sunday Morning League, who hopped in the booth to start the game and to leave, and he's playing with the Poor Bros Jacks later tonight. That about wraps it up from East Peoria. Miller Lite, big winners tonight, 15-2 over the league frontrunner, the Crusens Reds. So long, folks. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you next week right here on CSM.